Joe, I know you've said in the past you didn't think it would really hit you that Mariano wasn't coming back next year until you went to spring training, but what were you thinking tonight when he ran to the mound for the first time, or for the last time, I should say?
There's emotions. You know, I've been with Mo since '96, and a lot of great times. He made my job fun. He made my job easy. But probably more important than that, he made all our lives better. And we'll miss him.
How far ahead of time did you plan on sending Peter a pitch?
Really, that inning. You know, I started thinking about it in the 8th inning. You know, I've never seen a player pull another player, so I had to ask. And then one of them was on the DL, and I figured, well, if they say yes to one, I'll push it, and I'll ask for two. So it was nice that Mike Winters, the crew chief, said, okay, let it happen.
Joe, Mariano said that 9th inning was a little bit difficult for him in keeping his emotions in check. Is that the first time you've ever seen him on the mound where maybe he was struggling to keep his emotions?
Yeah, you know, during a game, yes. And I think in between was really difficult for him because he went inside, and that's not something that he usually does. He usually stays out on the bench in between innings. But I think he needed to gather himself, is my guess. And it worked. You know, it was a special evening.
Who else? Vac.
Joe, 2 questions. I'm sorry if you can just indulge on the question about the procedure. Did you talk to Winters before the game? Did you talk to me before the inning?
No, I talked to Laz before the 9th inning. And I just asked, you know, Laz says, I think it's okay. Let me talk to Mike. And he talked to Mike, and then, you know, and I said, well, can I send 2? And they said, well, yeah, go ahead. And I really appreciate that because I think it made the moment even more special for Mo. 2 guys that have been linked to him, with him a long time, came up to the minor leagues, have been through a lot together. I think that made the moment even more special.
And just curious, I mean, if you guys have been winning 2-1, was he going to save the game?
You know, I don't know. It would have been something that I probably would have talked to him about in that situation.
Dave, against the wall.
Joe, it looked like when he came into the game, you gave him the ball, and it looked like maybe you said one quick thing to him.
Yeah, well, what I tell every reliever, first and second, one out. I usually don't like to tell him first and second, one out. I usually like to give him a clear slate, but, yeah, I mean, that's what I told him.
Sweeney.
Joe, just how was it to just be a spectator for all that? I mean, you weren't the manager; you were just watching.
Yeah, special. You know, you think about the whole year and what he's done, and how he's given back to baseball, and how he's given back to each city, and it's just like I said, he makes everyone's life better around him, and it was special to be out there.
To the left, Kevin.
Joe, how does he make your life better from a person?
You just watch how he goes about his business with the humility that he has, and always trying to make people's lives better. And I mean, you think about it, every park we go to, he sits down with a group of people and just says thank you. And people probably don't hear that enough. Thank you for all the things that that they do for everyone in this room. I think we're extremely blessed to be in this country. We're extremely blessed to be in this game. And Mo has never forgotten that.
Dan, right behind you, Al.
How important was it for him to have that kind of outing, even though it was in a loss, but to get all 4 outs and to have a clean inning?
Well, I don't think it would have shaped his career. But it is kind of neat. I mean, it's just, we come to expect that. It's business as usual with Mo when he's on the mound. And I was glad to see it.
Anybody else? Bruce?
Joe, a lot of memorable moments in the old ballpark, in this new ballpark. Where does this one rank?
As good as it gets. This is as good as it gets. It's probably as special of a going out for any player I've seen. Paul O'Neill was the other one that was pretty amazing. And I was not here for that, but I heard it through the TV. But Mo, the one thing about our fans is they understand what Mo has meant to this organization. It's not something that they just say, he's a great. No, they understand what he's meant to this organization and the championships and all the tutoring he has done, the players that have come in. And that's as good as it gets.
Mark and Marley.
Joe, what did you think about Andy getting a curtain call as well and getting one last recognition here?
I think that was great, too. Andy deserves it. You're talking about two of the greatest Yankees that have ever put the uniform on, going out in the same year. And I was glad to see that. I was glad, I give Tampa a lot of credit in the class they showed because they wouldn't take the field until Andy went out. And I applaud Joe and all his coaches and his players for that.
Joe, if there's something that you can tell everyone in New York or just us about how you will personally remember Mariano, then maybe we don't know.
For me, probably the best way to put it is I love to see him come in the game. As a player, it was fun. And as a manager, it was easy. It's not hard to pick up that phone and decide who you want when Mo's down there. I think as a manager, the only temptation that you have to guard against is not bringing him in the sixth and asking him to get you 12 outs. But it was fun.